Hello.
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 Yeah, I don't know. Connecting audio.
Need to turn the video on.
Yeah, I could go full screen. I wonder what that's all about.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Pranav.
Yeah. He's here. He can probably hear us. He's got
Microphone's muted. He's looking good though. I've requested that I do that to my video, but no, or there are other recommendations too, like a lower resolution camera, maybe 360 by 360. But
I'd just make you all blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Pixelate
that way. Yeah. They prefer to be pixelated, I think. So Pranav, you can left-hand side at the bottom of the microphone. If you want to turn that on, just click on the microphone at the bottom left-hand side. You have to move your cursor a little bit, and that'll put that up. And if you want to see your amazing good looks, then you can click on the camera, and that'll turn your camera on, maybe. But sometimes people are not blessed with the good looks that Leroy and I are, so we understand. Where'd that come from? He found the microphone. Yeah, just at the right time. We had him cornered. Now we found the microphone.
Anything new going on, Jim?
I got my ultraviolet kit in for the ductwork.
Okay.
Looks like that. It has two sockets for the old style fluorescent bulbs. That's berry, huh? And it here are the bulbs. And here's a clue to what's going on here. And there's one of the bulbs. See anything strange about that fluorescent bulb?
It's a little hard to tell. Yeah.
It looks like just glass there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is it clear glass? That's the difference.
Yeah, it looks a little different. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, well, it looks like a regular fluorescent bulb, the old style with a plug on
it. Yeah. Okay.
The glass is clear. Now, what does that mean? If you have a fluorescent bulb with no white stuff on the inside, guess what? You can't see it. It doesn't glow white.
Yeah.
Because all the light is mostly invisible. And that's what ultraviolet is.
Okay.
So I got a pair of those for this particular sanitizer. And we've been looking for an air conditioner. So the air conditioner guy trained me. And he says, get the, this one won't reach all the way across the duct, which I realize that, but it has two of them in it, two 9-watts.
Right.
He said 24-watt goes all the way across the duct, and that way you can get the full stream of the stuff that's coming through. This one will probably take several circulations to kill all the bugs, but the UVC, as we talked about last week, and we had the article in the news too, is a range that particularly affects the COVID-19 bugs. So that's my toy for this week. Anyway, what about you?
I worked on Hero a little bit, did the software. I got all the hardware wired up. I've got all the tests of various sensors and everything done. My voltage divider circuit turns out to be too small. It was meant for 24 volts, not 36 volts. But the good news is I didn't blow up my Arduino doing something silly. I just need to change the voltage divider circuit. Everything else works. Amazingly enough, the wheel is on the right direction, and it is actually pointing in the right direction, and 90, it's actually not quite right. 92 degrees is perfectly forward. So it's not quite right, but it's close enough to mess around with. It's off by a couple of degrees.
Vicente has shared his face with us.
And software wise, I'm probably going to end up rewriting the Arduino code because it's not quite what I want it to do yet. And I found that while the mouth animation's going, I can't receive any serial data, which is bad. So
side by side.
I'm going to have to rewrite some stuff and figure out some minor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, everything else seems to be working. There's Vicente. Hi, Vicente.
And
I thought I heard the sugar wagon go by Ray a minute ago.
Ray is in here somewhere. I don't see him, but he's here somewhere.
he's driving.
He's flipping around in here. He's moved in behind us, I think. There he is.
I wasn't allowed to start the video yet because Carol was here.
Doing stuff.
I thought the sugar wagon had driven by there. I'm just saying.
So, how's things going?
Good. I was just telling about my stuff this week. I've got a my ultraviolet furnace sanitizer came in, and also had an air conditioning guy coming in setting me straight. They said this has the 9-watt bulbs, and you put 2 of them side by side, and the flow goes through them, and it zaps the stuff. And it's UVC, which is the range for COVID-19, which is okay, but not my main thrust. Says they're good for killing mold and other stuff, and they seem to think it works. He prefers the 24-watt that goes all the way across the duct. I'm too cheap. $78 version is good enough for me. Try it out, and that's it. And they're fluorescent bulbs, Ray. And what color do you think the inside coating on the fluorescent bulb is? Is it white?
I have no idea. My hands are up.
The trick question. There is no coating on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you didn't have an inside coating on your fluorescent bulbs, you couldn't see them because they put out ultraviolet energy, or energy in the non-visible area. So
I have all LED bulbs now. I don't have fluorescent bulbs anymore.
yeah, the LEDs are starting to catch up, but they hadn't caught up on the sanitizers yet. And they do have them there. You can get an 80-watt LED for $15, and that's a put it in the duct or somewhere where people can't see it, you know, kind of light. But that should be devastating. And then Leroy went through his dance. talked a little bit about his stuff.
Yep.
You want to repeat your stuff, or did you hear it right?
That's okay. It's not that I don't want to hear about Leroy.
Yeah, yeah. Psh.
What'd you do?
I worked on the software for the Arduino portion of the Hero robot.
Okay.
I've got everything wired up. It's all ready to go. Voltage divider, calculated it wrong. It's for 24 volts, not 36 volts. So I've got to change the voltage divider. But other than that, it's all on and working, and everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now it's just a matter of getting the software the way I like it. And so far, I'm not real happy with my software. So, but it's mostly I'm communicating over serial to the Raspberry Pi, and when the animation for the LED mouth is going, I can't communicate with serial, so I lose all the packets. I can't tell the mouth to stop. It will start and never stop. So that's mostly where I'm unhappy. But because of that, and because of the way I'm set it up to only do one LED at a time from the Raspberry Pi, I'm going to rewrite it so that I can send an array of the LED, a whole string for the LEDs to all activate at one time or whatever. So it's just a matter of working out the software at this point. The voltage divider shouldn't be too hard to fix. I mean, it's a couple more resistors, different resistors.
Yep.
That's about it on that thing.
What about you, Vicente? What's going on over there? As if we didn't know.
I'm still working in my computer, ruler computer. I asked for samples, special custom keys, and they are already here. The push buttons were made to work with 100 grams instead of 250, and now they feel like a key instead of a push button. It's more soft when you press it. I don't know if you see. This is the standard one. And this is the new one. The samples. The samples of the push button. Last night I ordered 1,000 of each to make some a pre-series of boards to have several working. I was working in the deep sleep functions. Actually, the battery CR2032 can last a full year with this deep sleep state and the real clock time working pretty good. I was checking the real-time clock, and in the last 2 days, it drift only 1 second. What is good for me, is enough. And still working to integrate all the software in the simulation and the real-time clock, the deep sleep. And now I need to integrate the soft buttons to make it easier to program. Yesterday, I asked from Amazon this power supply. It's pretty nice. You can program the output from 1 volt to 24 volts and works very nice. It's 3 watts power supply. I use USB power. I have I will share, can I share the screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is the power supply in Amazon. Actually, you only can drain 500 milliamps from the USB port, but it also has the Type C USB, so you can drain a lot of more current from this connector, and you can use it as a voltmeter, amp meter, or power meter also. And it costs 13 bucks. I paid 17 because was delivery in 1 day, but you can buy it for 13 and will last for a week, the delivery. It's the same thing that, let me stop sharing. I usually use this power supply. But I like the portability of this one. It's very easy to use. You can, I don't know if you can see something. You can power the output on and off. And you can change the voltage up and down here with 2 buttons. Up. Down. There is a mode to move faster, but I don't remember how. I'm just using this to simulate the power from the battery, for the coin battery, because I have a circuit to measure the battery voltage, and I will be notifying the user that he need to change the battery, producing a couple of flashes with this LED. It's LED flash once every 5 seconds. But if the battery goes below 2.7 volts, it will be flashing twice every 5 seconds. It means that you need to change the battery. There is a small capacitor in the board that you have a couple of minutes to change the battery without losing the real-time clock. The circuit will continue to work using the capacitor for a while, and you can change the battery, and that's it. I need to integrate all the software. Everything is working, but I need to put all together, and maybe I made maybe a dozen of boards, and we'll send them to several people that loves this computer for evaluation. That's it.
Cool.
And also, well, I am doing a lot of trimming around the house, all the trees and all the plants. A lot of work. We will be moving maybe at the end of the month, and I need to clean everything and let the house ready for sale.
Where are you moving to? I didn't know you were moving.
Yeah, by the end of this month.
Where are you going to?
Indian Hill, close to the Madeira, to Merriman, in between. in the middle of the woods, somewhere.
I beg to differ, sir. I live in the woods.
You live in the woods?
Yes, yes, I do. It's a half mile to the pole with the fiber optic on it.
Okay. I will have five acres to clean and maintain.
That's about how much we have by Sente.
Yeah. There are a lot of reindeers.
Here.
Deers, exactly. Because all the houses are very far one from each other, and there are no fences, and there are a lot of woods, so they are full of animals everywhere. I'm worried about my dog, but let's see what happens.
Do you have a rifle?
No, but I am thinking of it.
My advice is if you see raccoons, kill them.
Okay.
Raccoons
But
are
they're so cute.
they're trash can bandits. They're trash can rats. They're nasty. They destroy your home, destroy your property.
They will
Looking
destroy your
looking for
home.
food.
They will move into your attic. We had like 5 in our attic.
And it's
Or
not that they just
find
make a
bullet
mess.
holes.
They shit on everything.
Oh my God.
It is nasty. If you see a raccoon, kill it. It's not even a decision of maybe. It's just shoot the little bastard. So this comes from a
But
person.
the raccoons are guardians of the galaxy.
No, he's a trash can rabbit. He's a rabbit. So no. I'll teach you how to shoot.
They all they have to do is find a small hole to get into, and they'll make that hole big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will tear. In my shed, they tore 8 holes
Oh,
this big, and they got in there. And obviously I don't play in my shed very often. And in the course of a few months, they
you have
destroyed.
seeds or something to eat inside the shed,
No, there was cardboard, styrofoam,
and they
rubber. They ate everything and shit everywhere else, and it was bad. Oh, I got traps. They're smart though. They really are, and nasty.
I'll be telling you what's going on.
Okay, well,
How is
I got traps, and
yeah.
got some live carry traps. And the nice thing about the live traps is that once you catch a raccoon, you get the privilege of going up to the trap and killing the little bastard yourself.
Because he's still alive.
Because he's still alive. So you get to kill him yourself. All
I
right.
sense hostility here.
I
A little
sense
bit.
yeah,
A little bit.
Right.
Ray really doesn't like the raccoons.
No.
Obviously.
Hey, so let me share for a minute. Now that I'm done with the raccoons, I have taken some time in my office area, and I've upgraded my laptop, my wife's laptop, my other work laptop, my desktop. And what I did was I just got into the user manuals, found out exactly what RAM they needed, and I upgraded the RAM. That's a pretty easy thing. But the harder thing that I did was upgrading every one of these computers needed a new hard drive, and I switched them over to solid state drives. And changing them from spinning hard drives to solid state drives has been a game changer. My wife obviously complains a lot, but she complained about her computer going pretty slow. And this this made a huge difference to go more memory and more RAM, and the solid state drive is just amazing. The computers boot up, instead of being like 4 minutes to being ready, it's like 16 seconds. So that's just I've been to anger management. I have my certificate that I passed anger management class.
A good thing is that maybe I will have space for a laser machine in the basement.
Speaking of a laser machine, I found one on Craigslist for $300.
Oh, we're at.
It's not a good one. It's one of those K40.
40 watts.
It's a 40 watt.
No, but the precision is.
It's
Ray
down in Blue Ash.
Can't tell
Ray's
you.
on it. Ray's like.
Rays will kill you
See this piece of crap? I'm gonna kill it.
like a raccoon.
I knew as soon as I said that Ray was going to do something.
Ray's gonna be a laser operator. Oh. Is it in Dayton or Cincinnati?
No, it's in Cincinnati. Blue Ash. It's one of those K40s. It's one of those desktop 40 watt. One of those blue ones.
I saw some machines. There are some machines everywhere, in eBay, in Amazon. They claim that they can cut 1 millimeter stainless steel. I think. Is that true? 100.
1 milliwatt?
Millimeter, I think. Let me check.
No, they can't. I found it, Leroy.
Ray's already got it.
I already found that piece of crap.
He's already said $50.
Yeah. Yeah, versatile work surface, can go anywhere. Bulky objects, regular objects, doesn't matter. We'll accommodate products of various dimensions. Upgraded digital controls, the new control panel with LCD display enables the user to easily view and adjust the current power. Volume, thanks to upgrade touch panel. That's just stupid. They wasted their money. Integrated cooling fan, never overheat again. The pre-installed exhaust fan provides improved ventilation performance, easier operation, lower noise level, and greater portability. The new red dot guidance. The red dot pointer quickly indicates the engraving point and marks the laser's head path to identify positioning sizes and make your project setup nearly effortless. I can't read that with a straight face. 4 detachable wheels, equipped with 4 detachable wheels at the bottom for easy movement and fixation. I don't know what to say.
You notice there's a 3D printer sitting next to it, right?
I do.
Somebody has bought this thinking that it was going to be something and then realized, oh, it's not what I thought.
I actually had this is the lowest level of laser that I think is made. The K40 with the micro controller in it. It's not even controllable by any other reasonable software. It has the worst software in it. And the people that sell it try to tell everybody that, hey, this is a 40 watt laser. And if you measure it, it's actually more like an 18 to 23 watt laser. It is the most lie of a marketing scheme. And we have plenty of people that are just like, well, I'm just not happy with my 40 watt. Why would your 40 watt be any better? So it's just hard to argue around this crap to give them a good laser. We had a customer that he had an actual $4,000 tabletop laser. Looks very similar to this, and it was on some custom software. He bought my laser. He said, "Oh, well, I'll use both of them." He completely stopped using the old one. And 2 years later, I went back and did a service call cleaning, and he's like, "Ray, would you please take this old one home, get rid of it?" And I was like, "Man, I don't want to buy your stuff." So he gave it to me, carried it to my van. It was hilarious. And we're putting new controls in it and see what we can do, make it any good. Anyway.
I was looking at the last picture on that, where they've way overpowered it to get it to cut, and you can see all the little burn marks and stuff on the balsa wood.
Well, that actually is a it's not balsa. You can tell by the bottom left corner of the wood.
Yeah.
That it's a plywood that didn't get cut all the way through, and they broke it to get it to come loose.
Okay.
Down the left edge, you can see the broken pieces of the plywood where it didn't cut all the way through.
Yeah.
And all that haze is actually from where it does not have a proper air assist.
Ventilator.
Or proper ventilation.
Yeah. It's just funny.
Yeah, you're laughing at me as I bitch about other people's bad products.
Oh,
Okay.
I've looked at those K40s before I knew you, and I was like,
what junk? If you want to put a solid state drive on your computer, now is a great time to do it. Okay, you can go down to Micro Center, and 256 megabytes of 256 gigabytes of solid state drive is like $28.
Wow.
The package itself right here says $39, but it's actually about $28. They have some smaller drives. I think they're 120 gigabyte solid state drives. They're $20. The prices might have changed. For my laptop, I had a 2 terabyte spinning drive in there, and the largest solid state drive that I could find is only 1 terabyte. But I realized that I don't need more than a terabyte, because as much as I've been using my computer for the past 2 years, I've only put 300 gigabytes on it, and I don't need 1,000.
you could set your solid state drive up as your boot drive and still use your 2 terabyte for storage.
Inside my laptop, I don't have space for 2 drives.
Okay, yeah.
I only got space for 1 drive, and the 1 terabyte is 3 times as much as I currently am using. So I don't need 6 times as much space so that I can waste a whole terabyte.
I'm with you.
But for $35, this is awesome. This is really, really good. Okay. I was so impressed with it. I've got these older laptops that are only 1.5 gigahertz. It's like a 2+2 core. I took them from 4 gig of RAM to 8 gig of RAM, put in the solid state drive, and it's like a new computer. They're just so fast to boot up nowadays compared to the
Micro Center has a lot of stuff on sale right now. I don't know if they're just need to get people in the door or what, but they've got one of the creative Ender 3D printers for $200, marked down from $400. So it's half off.
Wow.
Not that I need another 3D printer.
Right, companies that folded. Trying to unload them while they still can.
Yeah, I don't know.
The most of the prices I've seen, all their stuff's gone up because there's no supply.
Yeah.
Hey, Pranav, you want to say something here? We hadn't heard from you in a while.
I'm just working on learning Python for data science, and I've kind of started learning the basics with print functions and then functions. and classes and operators, conditional operators, bitwise operators, and using Python to benefit me with statistics and other functions.
Oh, you can't say Python here. Vicente might go crazy. He's holding down pretty good, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
likely.
We could have another raccoon thing going here, guys. Just hope or not. Vicente's loves stuff now. You have a word, Vicente? Nothing?
No.
No?
I hate saying it, but since I started messing with the Raspberry Pi for this Hero Junior, Python's starting to grow on me too. So.
Oh man. Okay, you have to keep it quiet. Don't say anything. Python, keep it under your hat for a few.
Yeah, Python's starting to grow on me. I'm still not quite to the Vicente level, but it's starting to grow on me.
Oh man.
I like the fact that you can make your program in Python in the Raspberry Pi, and you can have connected an ESP32, for example, running MicroPython, and
Yeah.
almost you in the same environment, you are making the code for the ESP32 and the code for the Raspberry Pi simultaneously in the same interface in the using PNC virtual connection from your PC to the Raspberry Pi and running the Python in Raspberry Pi and MicroPython in the ESP32. It's very practical for a robot because it's wireless, everything. And the robot is running around and you are changing on the fly the code and correcting everything. I think it's very, very nice to have this wireless environment to deal with the robot.
So Pranav, you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. What's going on with you, Kenny?
Not much. Took the week off.
Oh my God.
Vacation.
Not doing anything? That's
Oh.
I don't know if I believe that. What about you, Barry? What are you up to?
Oh, not too much. I bought a truck this week, so got to replace the hinge pin on the driver door. Probably mess with that tomorrow. So not super geeky, but make the door work better.
You're doing a lot of mechanical or hands-on kind of stuff, aren't you? Repaired the battery last week and repaired
yeah.
a door this week.
Well, that's what's kind of funny is like I've been kind of wanting a backup vehicle anyway. It's like, well, now I got a backup vehicle, but my battery pack's good now, probably for the next year or two.
Right. Hey Jim, you realize we're running low on time, right?
No, I didn't realize that. Okay. I'll save it.
Flicker the lights. Somebody flicker the lights.
Yeah.
We've got the 15-minute. We've got a little window, and then Jim will start another meeting.
1 minute.
Oh yeah, alrighty. We use the second address, Pranav. There's another address for the second 15-minute interval, and just click on it, and you'll connect right up. New knife?
Yeah.
Right?
We're doing
What a few hundred.
300?
A few hundred of those. They're basically going to be engraving samples. So we've got the fiber engraving laser, and we're just going to be engraving people's names on those and selling them. Believe it or not, that's like a $5 knife.
To kill raccoons?
Sure. Yeah, kill raccoons. If you get that close, you're way too close to a raccoon.
way too close.
Yeah, and then you're in my way because I'm shooting. 5,
4. See you in a